The vast majority of women in Rupa sub-county in Moroto district live a life of drudgery. They trek long distances looking for food for their families. Their lifestyle has taken a toll on their children's well-being. Margaret Ojao is a 65-year-old grandmother who has to babysit her twin granddaughters because their mother spends long hours away from home in search of food.
When the mothers go to look for firewood, she's supposed to feed all of them, to breastfeeding all of them, these two both.
Ojao has visited Rupa Health Center too to get some therapeutic food for her grandchildren. Ojao is not alone. Scores of women struggle to feed their families in this region that is undergoing a severe drought. The harsh condition has compelled many of them to leave their children with their aging mothers who had long stopped breastfeeding.
And like in Karamoja here, these women sometimes move a lot. They leave the children at home with the older women, so they are forced to breastfeed them.
The head of the nutritional unit in Moroto Referral Hospital says breastfeeding other people's babies can make babies contract diseases.
Like if the mother is positive, the old woman, then the child is at a risk of getting HIV/AIDS.
But Ojao's efforts of nourishing her granddaughters haven't yielded much. The twins are malnourished, and health workers recently referred them to Moroto Regional Referral Hospital.
Now, imagine an old woman. She's left alone at home without enough food, so she doesn't have enough breast milk for that child. So the child may just be suckling the breast, but nothing is even coming.
At the referral hospital, the 10-month-old girls were found to weigh just 3.7 kilograms, which is about the average weight of newborn babies.
When the immunity is low, they can easily acquire the TB. Then it can also affect their mental growth. Because when there's not enough food, the brain can't develop well. So in the future, they'll be dull in the class.
The mother of the twins, Regina Leiko, eventually showed up and narrated the condition that has compelled her to leave her kids with their grandmother.
She goes and collects firewood. Then she bought the food for the mom.
The children's ward at Moroto Referral Hospital receives over 45 cases of malaria and pneumonia every day. The medics say the children have a low response to treatment because most of them are malnourished.
There is always low income, hence poor feeding, and poor feeding plus infectional diseases. There is always very low response to the treatments, especially malaria.
According to a report by UNICEF, 3.5 of the children under the age of 5 are suffering from severe acute malnutrition, which is estimated to be 22,000 cases annually.
Because the child can stay from morning up to evening, not eating anything. Also a small child should be eating every time and then, provided he wants.
Since September last year, this area hasn't gotten any substantial rain. It's now January. It's a long period of drought. And around this time, in places like such a health center, they receive many cases of malnourished children because there is no food.
When rain comes, you see sorghum, maize, that is the most food. And that is carbohydrates only. When you look at it, there is no fat.
UNICEF has led the national rollout of an integrated management of acute malnutrition plan and works with partners in reaching mothers and expectant mothers in communities to increase knowledge about optimal feeding practices for babies as well as children older than 6 months. They also provide plumpy nut, a therapeutic feed that helps in the recovery of malnourished children.
UNICEF supplies this through the local government, so the district headquarters or their stores have this.
Although the region has a program known as the Karamoja Action Plan for Food Security to ensure increased household income, many of the locals are still living miserable lives. Irene Namyalo, NTV.